Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Let's start our video with a story in which our OP put a brand new fold-up electric wheelchair up for sale locally, only to face an entitled buyer demanding free delivery 200 miles away. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. The time I sold my wheelchair to an angel after dealing with a demon. I bought a new fold-up electric wheelchair, folds like a pushchair, that I hoped I could use alongside my active manual chair, but it didn't suit my needs. Bought a power attachment instead, so it popped up for sale on eBay. Checked the local pickup option, but said if people wanted to pay for their own courier, if not local, I would charge £20 extra to package it. It cost me £780, and as it came when I was in hospital for 6 weeks, I missed the return window, so was selling a brand new chair for £600. Along comes Mrs. Choosy Beggar, who first submits a buy it now offer of £300. I decline and counteroffer for the full asking price. She goes up in £50 until she gets to £550, where I accept. She then messaged me and tells me that I have to deliver it to her house 200 miles away from mine. I tell her no, but if she finds a courier that she pays for, I'll package it up for £20. Even told her I found a local man with a van who'll do it for £60, which I thought for the size was a great cost. She said no, she's disabled and I need to deliver it as she doesn't drive and has no money. I tell her I'm sorry, but I clearly stated no delivery. She then starts telling me how I'm ableist, hate disabled people, hate her, have no idea what it's like not being able to walk very far or being in pain. Message after message of this, and then sob stories about how she has pains in both hips and how I have no idea what it's like having to take paracetamol every day. It's that painful that if I don't deliver it, God will punish me with her pains, and I don't want to anger him and live with her pain as I'm not strong enough to cope. I then tell her that I am also disabled, as I explained in the selling info, that I cannot walk or stand, live in chronic full-body pain that even fentanyl and morphine don't touch, and that I get it must be hard, but the answer is still no. That the money she's saving from the cost of the chair new from the company is still a saving, even paying for the courier, or wait and find one local to her. Wheelchairs are one of the most popular items for sale on eBay, as qualifying for an NHS chair is hard. You have to use it full-time and indoors. And some, like my local one, only give them to those like me who can't stand. So always lots for sale secondhand all over the country, and she was in London, so many for sale close to her. Before the torrent of abuse, I was about to say that I saw her address was on the way to my best friend's house, and that for a bit of petrol money, I would drop it off at her house when I'm next passing in a few weeks. She burnt that bridge. She then tried to say I was making up stuff and trying to one-up her disability, and no one is as disabled as that. Like, WTF. Sadly, there are people much more disabled than me, and I'm making that stuff up to try and stop her reporting me to the police for discriminating a disabled person. I blocked her. Later that day, I got an offer for the full price of the chair, and they drove to collect it the next day, and the woman was newly disabled, and this was her first wheelchair. We're now good friends, and I'm helping her negotiate the challenging and lonely world of being disabled, applying for disability benefits, and adapt to life in general when you become disabled. I'm so glad it was her that bought it, and that I've been able to help her and gain a friend in the process, along with the CB giving me a good laugh. Karma sometimes wins, and I love it. A person truly grateful for the chair and willing to pay a good price where both buyer and seller are satisfied, who also treats a buyer with respect rather than animosity and accusations, is even more rare. And our second story. Karen demanded her parking spot on our private driveway. This happened a few years back, but someone in my office brought up entitled parking stories today, and it all came rushing back. It's one of those petty moments that still makes me smile. Our house is at the very end of a close, basically a quiet dead-end street. At the very tip of it, the public street narrows and blends into what's clearly our private driveway. Different pavement color, lined by hedges, and only accessible through a car-width entrance. It's unmistakably ours. We own the land, and there are no easements or shared use clauses. The driveway can comfortably hold 4 cars, but we've only ever used one spot. My parents commute to London by train and walk to the station, so most days even the one car doesn't move. That detail will become important. Anyway, we went on a 2-week holiday, came back, and boom, some beat-up beige minivan is parked dead center in our driveway. At first, we let it go. We assumed maybe it belonged to a visiting relative of one of the neighbors and they'd be gone soon, but it kept showing up, like clockwork. Same van, same entitled parking. Not once did anyone knock on our door to ask permission. Eventually, my dad had had enough. The next time the van rolled in, we were ready. We opened the door just as the driver, enter Karen, stage left, stepped out. Karen looked exactly how you'd expect. Big sunglasses, fake tan, Bluetooth headset clipped in despite no call in progress, and the distinct air of someone who collects scented candles and passive-aggressively complains about teenagers walking too loudly. Dad, being calm and polite, said, "Hi there, just wondering if you could stop using our driveway. It's private property." Karen's face immediately twisted like we told her the word pumpkin spice was banned. "Excuse me, I've always parked here. The previous owners never said a word. And it's not like you even use it." Dad replied, still calmly, "We do own it, though, and we'd prefer it not be used without permission." She scoffed, and I kid you not, says, "You've got 3 empty spaces. Just let me have one. You can park anywhere else if it bothers you so much, but if you take my space, I'll be livid." My space. On our land. Dad smiled. Not one of those passive smiles, the smile. The one I now recognize as his "I'm about to end this nonsense" grin. He said, "Well, if we can park anywhere else, then I guess we'll just do that." Karen smirked like she'd won a Nobel Peace Prize for driveway entitlement and click-clacked her way back to a house 4 doors down. The next morning, I woke up to the unmistakable sound of Dad's ancient, grumbling Land Rover being maneuvered into position. I looked out the window and nearly choked on my cereal. He had it parked right across the mouth of our driveway, parallel to the street, blocking the entire entrance like a concrete wall with tires. He didn't touch the driveway itself. Nope, he just followed Karen's advice and parked somewhere else. That just happened to prevent her from parking where she thought she was entitled. Her reaction came fast. Around 5 p.m. that same day, she marched up the drive in full Karen mode, hands on hips, hair fluffed. "You can't block the driveway, that's illegal." Dad, already mowing the lawn, didn't even stop, just looked over and said, "Oh, I thought you said we could park anywhere else. This isn't your space, remember?" She huffed, puffed, and stomped away. Never parked there again. Our Land Rover mysteriously stayed parked across the entrance for the next 3 weeks, just in case she forgot. Funny how that beige minivan suddenly had no trouble finding street parking like the rest of the civilized world. I'd have got them towed. "Hello, police, non-emergency? Someone's abandoned a car on my property. If they keep doing it, install one of those collapsible bollards. Bonus for leaving it down, then putting it back up once they're in." And our last story. Karen 911, not good. So hello there, r/entitled people. Andy writing, the same guy who's been limping on both legs ever since a disastrous run-in with a rickety Dacia elevator back in 2012. I live on the 3rd floor above the only bakery in our little town, and my window boasts a glamorous view of the crossroads and the parking lot. It's a spring Saturday morning. I'm brewing coffee and watching my old war buddy John, ex-cop, veteran, and part-time walking weather station, roll his blue mobility scooter toward the crosswalk. He hates that scooter, but the kids bought it for his birthday, so every now and then he parades the devil machine out for a coffee run. And then she bursts onto the stage, shiny white Mercedes coupe. I'm filming epic stories, music rattling the whole block, and behind the wheel, the Karen to end all Karens, lacquered hair, fireworks-colored eyeshadow, lips like 2 strawberries colliding. She whips the wheel, tires screech, and wham, plows straight into John's scooter. The scooter shoots skyward like a bottle rocket. John, bad knee and all, executes a dive into the bushes maneuver and lands in a lilac hedge. I nearly baptized my brand new orthopedic shoes with coffee. The Mercedes hasn't even come to a full stop when an elderly Ford Taurus gives its rear bumper a polite click. Out climbs Mark, a round-bellied sweetheart with mustaches that look like 2 floor brushes. "Ma'am, I was braking," he pants, wiping sweat. Karen ignores John completely and unleashes the siren of her own voice. "Are you blind? You scratched my bumper." "And you," she jabs a rhinestone manicure at John, who's plucking leaves out of his ear, "shoved your meat grinder scooter under my wheels. I could have died." I lean out my window and shout, "Hey lady, maybe check if the guy's alive first." "Shut your window, you noisy peeper," she snaps, as if I've just pronounced sentence on her. John hauls himself upright, clutching his knee. "Ma'am, I'm fine, thank you," he says, still with that cop's calm voice. "Seems like you should call the police." "Police?" Karen's eyes bulge. "Perfect. I pay their salaries with my taxes." She whips out a gold iPhone and dials 911. "Hello, police? Some old guy on a war tank scooter rammed me and a fat guy torpedoed me from behind. Somebody sabotaged my brakes, I bet." Mark blinks. "Ma'am, you stop so suddenly." "Silence, skipper." Karen swings her purse so hard a tiny Yorkie rockets out. "I'll sue you till you're selling tires at a yard sale." Sirens in the distance, patrol car arriving. 2 officers step out and look who it is. Tom, John's son. Karen, of course, has no clue. "Good morning," Tom says. "Who called?" "I did," Karen shrieks. "Arrest them both. They almost killed me. And by the way," she pokes Tom's badge, "I pay your salary." Tom and his partners survey the scene. Crushed scooter, accordion bent Mercedes bumper, John limping. "Ma'am, you know this is a crosswalk with a 15-mile-per-hour limit?" Tom asks. "I was being very careful," she howls. "He," thumb at John, "jumped under my wheels." John smiles. "Ma'am, I was stationary. Your stunt was all you." Karen to Tom, "Arrest that veteran and that salsa man," she points at Mark. "They conspired against me." Mark sighs. "I'd prefer the body shop over jail, thanks." Tom notes license plates, measures skid marks, a nice black streak right up to the lines. "Ma'am, looks like fault's on you," he says flatly. "Please step to the cruiser so we can write the report." "Conflict of interest," Karen screeches. "You're related to him," stabs finger toward John. Tom lifts an eyebrow. "Yes, he's my father, which is why I'm keeping my distance and recording only facts. And the facts are you were speeding and hit a mobility device." Partner Ray approaches with cuffs. "Ma'am, if you refuse, you'll add resisting." Karen's eyes go saucer wide. She looks like she saw the bill for her knockoff rhinestones. "You can't. I'll call the mayor. I'd paid for his gym membership." Ray gently takes her arm. "The mayor pays us too. Tax money. Let's go." "Careful, this is a Tiffany bracelet," she shrieks. "Great, our paperwork's fancy bracelet compatible," Ray winks. Karen disappears into the patrol SUV, doors click, silence. From my 3rd-floor window, I applaud with one hand, coffee in the other. Tom turns to John. "Dad, want an x-ray?" "Oh, please," John waves him off. "Just piece my scooter back together and I'll keep riding." Mark scratches his head. "I've got a body shop, I'll patch it up for free." "Deal, pal," John grins, eyeing his cranky knee. After the doc says go, though. While the cops finish paperwork, I, the limping observer, upload the whole show to our Facebook group, Safe Roads, Small Town. Within an hour, the clip of Karen shrieking, "I pay your salary," racks up more likes than photos of local kittens. That evening, John calls me. "Andy," he laughs, "you gone viral yet?" "Yup," I say, "your ninja dodge is today's top gif." "You know," John concludes, "I thought nothing hurt worse than knee pain. Turns out Karen at full volume beats it. So folks, guard your knees, keep your cameras ready, and remember, the moment someone yells, 'I pay your salary,' odds are you've got a prime Reddit story on your hands." Gosh, Karen's just a collection of every stereotype you can think of. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.